3, 2, 1, action.
All right. Again, thanks for introducing me, Maddie. Of course, I'm really excited to be here, and this has really been put together because of Maddie. She's like definitely the brainchild of this, so I'm very appreciative of that. And that's a perfect segue into the Better World Challenge. What in the world is a Better World Challenge? Why in the world would I start this? And I think that's kind of what I want to touch on. We're all a very similar age. I think we're all young professionals, either finishing college or have just finished college, and so I don't want to come in and have this almost attitude of like I am a founder of this Better World Challenge, so like I know more. I just kind of want to share my story and why I think the Better World Challenge actually like really matters to me, and kind of convey that. So currently, yeah, I am the founder of the Better World Challenge. I am the podcast host of our Better World Challenge podcast, and I'm also, my day job is I'm a youth development professional. I work with first and second graders at the Boys and Girls Club, so that is kind of where I get some fun in. But a little bit of backstory. I am originally from Humboldt County, California, more specifically Fieldbrook, California. And I grew up in a town of 600 people. And like I went to a K through 8 school that only had 120 kids. And growing up there, I really like learned the power of community and like a small community, and like how one's actions are like really felt by others. Like I'm thinking specifically, especially as I got older, like and the middle school age, like 7th and 8th grade, I still had kindergarten or elementary age students at my school. So there are definitely different things that we were not allowed to do that other middle schoolers might have been allowed to do, like some simple things like chewing gum and like other things that the elementary kids couldn't do. And so I really learned the power of taking responsibility for your own actions, and that your actions have that ripple effect. And when you have like these fourth and fifth graders looking up to you, it seemed, especially in such a small environment, it seemed like, looking back on it, I think there was like this extra added pressure of kind of just trying to be like a kind person and care about the community. Like obviously I think back, there's times where I was a bully. I don't want to like sit here and say I was like this super community minded focused person like through middle school, but that I think really set the seeds in my brain for like the importance of community. And I think that's such an important part to the Better World Challenge, and that's something that that's one of the reasons that Maddie and I are starting the network, is because we want people to come together. Especially, I think we're really hitting at young professionals that are driven and want to make change and want to build a better world. And I think it's an opportunity to come and explore different ideas of how different people think, and encourage each other to build our own kind of better worlds within our own communities. Like we're all zooming in from different areas, from Hawaii to here on the West Coast. So yeah, here in Oregon, so like that. And I think one of the other things is that I wanted to kind of reel back on, and like an experience that really helped change my life is actually I went backpacking for the first time with a couple of my buddies after high school. And like I wasn't like a huge nature person like before I went backpacking, but because I went backpacking, like it really, like the first 2 days, I'm like, I hate this. I just want to go back and sleep in my own bed. Like it's cold, it's freezing. Like I just like I want to be comfortable. And so one of the things that by day 3, day 4, I was like, wow, this is like beautiful. And I think I really learned the importance of like protecting the earth and like sustainability and environmentalism, and kind of being a good steward towards like the environment. And that really opened my eyes to the importance of protecting Mother Earth, and that this is our only earth. And like, of course, when we think a lot of times about saving the earth, like the earth will of course always be here, but it could be uninhabitable for humans. And I really think that the power of like what my elementary school and Fieldbrook School taught me is how important it is to be responsible for our own environment. And I really think that part of me wants to just like make the world a better place every day, and like actually like leave it a better place than when I found it. As that's kind of a mindset that I have. And then that backpacking trip gave me confidence to take on a backpacking trip at University of Oregon through the Holden Center. It's a canceled program now, but it introduced me into the Holden Center. Holden Center is a leadership and community engagement center at University of Oregon, where I got a lot of experience, which introduced me to the Boys and Girls Club, which sparked my passion for youth development. It's really sparked my passion for like giving back to the community. And like, I think there's one thing that the Holden Center really did well and really has kind of drilled into my mind. It's like, it's not just about volunteering. It's about like actually asking like some questions like, why do we even need to volunteer in the first place? Like, why do these organizations even need to exist? And so I think that really catapulted me into a place of like wanting to always solve every single problem that I can. And so that led to, in June, I just started it, or in April of 2019, I just started the Better World Challenge. I wanted to put more positive media out there in the world. I was already kind of doing some social media stories and whatnot. And so I just saw that there's way too much negativity, like in the news and the media. And they really just highlight the most extreme people. Like, they don't highlight everyday people, of course. And they really are just trying to, sell a lot of stuff. Like, I don't want to necessarily say fake news, but a lot of things that are just like they feed on the worst of humanity. And so that was a reason that I started with the blog, and I just kind of talked about personal development, community development. And then COVID hit in obviously last year in 2020, and I decided to take the Better World Challenge a little more seriously. I tried to do some challenges, be like, okay, I started this thing called the Better World Challenge. I might as well try and do some challenges. And I was in the process of creating a community connection challenge, and then unfortunately George Floyd was, murdered, and there's a spark of the George Floyd protest. So we had the Black Lives Matter education challenge to try and get people to read about, some of the injustices Black people face, and yeah, mainly Black people face in America. And so we can, especially as a white dude and someone who wants to really make change and be a leader, I think it's important to listen to voices from underserved and underrepresented communities, especially Black and minority communities, that often get overlooked. And I think that's something I want to be really intentional about, when I think about building out the Better World Challenge. And really the Better World Challenge right now is just our mission is to uplift the next generation of leaders through empowering digital content, being our podcast and Better World News. And then we have these challenges that we're kind of learning, and the network, which is you all are here, which is great. So I'm just super thrilled to see like that there's some like social proof that people are like, yeah, let's come together to build a better world. And I've had conversations with people from different, political ideologies that believe this is powerful. And I really think 2020 has actually shown me that the Better World Challenge is actually an opportunity for people to come together and actually work towards a better world. And like that there are a lot of people that really want to do it. And I think that's what really motivates me and drives me every single day. Is like I love when I think part of the reason I really love the idea of the Better World Challenge is showing people kind of what's possible, that like building a better world is possible. That's what the great thing about a network is. Like, maybe, Maddie is sharing about her experience with Clean Cities Coalition, and it inspires Jamin to implement something into T-Mobile. I think that's just into, his work, his life, and just kind of trickle it down. And I think the Better World, I don't want the Better World Challenge to be this like positive news outlet to where it's like firefighters rescuing cats. Like that's cool, and that's like a good laugh, but I want to actually like really highlight what amazing people there are in the world, because there are a lot of amazing people that get overshadowed by all the other people, the other negative news media, big media, social media, whatever you want to call it. So I really think the Better World Challenge in essence is like challenging ourselves to kind of rise above the fray and, build a better world, have difficult conversations, and, find some common ground, and actually, strive every day to make the world a better place. So that's my little story and spiel, and I'm happy to take questions now.